So, can learning AI skills literally be gamified into a direct income stream? It's a huge question, and one that sits right at the intersection of modern education, crazy fast tech advancements, and our own personal economics. Look, we all know artificial intelligence is totally reshaping the professional world, right? But the old school ways of learning these skills, they take so much time and, honestly, a lot of money up front. But what if the very act of learning was directly tied to earning? If you've been searching for a way to break into AI without, risking your entire life savings, this is a model you absolutely need to understand. And that is exactly the core premise of the source material we're digging into for today's explainer.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are deconstructing the Nitai Group ecosystem. I absolutely love finding structured ways to understand complex platforms, and we're going to decode their unique learn-to-earn model using their very own documentation. We'll be looking straight at their materials to see exactly how they claim to turn total beginners into enterprise-level AI practitioners, and how they've managed to build a massive business model around the whole thing.
All right, let's just jump right into the agenda. First, gamified learning meets AI. Second, the 90-day student roadmap. Then, the white label business model. And finally, platform scale and ecosystem.
Okay, Section 1. Gamified learning meets AI.
To really wrap our heads around what Nitai is doing, we have to look at the platform as a two-sided marketplace. It's kind of like a giant puzzle with two distinct pieces that fit perfectly together. On one side, we have the offering for students. This is the Learn and Earn track, and it's focused entirely on individuals who just want to acquire AI skills and generate an income stream. But then, on the other side, there is a totally distinct yet connected track for businesses. This is the franchise and SaaS model, meant for entrepreneurs who want to run their own AI-powered learning platforms. It's a complete ecosystem where the student activity on the left side literally fuels the business opportunities on the right.
At the very heart of the student side is this concept they call learn to earn. According to the sources, this is a deeply gamified model. So instead of just sitting back and passively watching videos, users are actually required to complete specific modules, what Nitai calls their 90-block curriculum. By completing these quizzes and assignments, students earn Nitai credits. And these credits aren't just monopoly money. The platform states they can be redeemed for over 1,000 digital assets or actually converted into real income streams. It's a brilliant system designed to heavily incentivize progression by immediately rewarding you when you hit educational milestones.
Moving right along to Section 2, the 90-day student roadmap.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how structured this journey is. The source material lays out a chronological timeline that claims to take a complete beginner to an enterprise-level capability and financial freedom in just 3 months. They divide this up into 3 very distinct phases. Month 1 is dubbed the hustler phase. Month 2 evolves into the automation agency phase. And finally, Month 3 is the enterprise phase. Let's break down exactly what happens in each of these 30-day windows.
Let's zoom in on Month 1, the hustler phase. This covers days 1 through 30, and the focus is entirely on building your AI foundation. Students start with AI literacy basics and then move quickly into prompt engineering, which is basically learning how to effectively talk to AI models. From there, they apply those skills straight into content creation. The source explicitly notes that completing this foundational block is what unlocks the student's very first credit payout. It's pretty simple. You learn the basics, you prove you know them, and you get rewarded.
Then we hit Month 2, covering days 31 to 60. You now graduate to the automation agency phase. This marks a massive shift on the platform, from just learning theory to actual real-world application. Students aren't just writing prompts anymore. They are stepping into AI agent development and workflow automation. They're learning how to scale and systemize things, and crucially, the final step of this month is client acquisition. The curriculum pushes the learner to go out, actively build an agency, and land real-world clients for their new automation skills.
And finally, we reach Month 3, days 61 to 90, the enterprise phase. Here, the goal is literally to scale to exit. The educational focus shifts heavily away from the granular AI work and moves toward high-level operations. Students learn enterprise automation, team leadership, and revenue operations. It's all about managing an AI-driven business now. Plus, completing this phase is what actually grants the student access to the franchise model, which effectively bridges the gap between the student track and the business track we talked about earlier.
And through this entire 90-day journey, gamification is the engine keeping everything moving. The platform's documentation highlights that students can earn up to 1,500 Nitai credits per phase. So to put that in perspective, that's up to 1,500 in Month 1, another 1,500 in Month 2, and a final 1,500 in Month 3. This constant drip of tangible rewards is strategically designed to keep motivation super high and combat that fatigue that usually kills traditional online learning.
Which brings us to Section 3, the white label business model. Let's pivot and look at how this ecosystem builds out for business owners. Nitai Group's pitch to entrepreneurs is remarkably direct. Launch your own AI-powered learning franchise with zero code. Basically, they offer a software as a service, or SaaS ecosystem, that allows partners to white label the entire platform. This means an entrepreneur can take Nitai's entire 90-day roadmap, the credit system, all the learning modules, and just rebrand the whole shebang with their own company logo and colors. They operate it as their own proprietary AI learning ecosystem and keep the revenue it generates.
The sources outline some very specific benefits designed to totally lower the barrier to entry for these franchise partners. First and foremost, and this is wild, there is zero upfront franchise fee. In the traditional franchise world, that is basically unheard of. Instead, it operates on a revenue share model. Partners get the full white label platform backed by a 98% uptime service level agreement and 24/7 technical support. They even throw in a marketing toolkit and a real-time revenue dashboard, so you can track student enrollment and credit payouts. It's literally pitched as a zero capital start for a global business. But what exactly is being transacted inside this ecosystem? Well, that brings us to this number, 1,200 plus. When a business partners with Nitai, they don't just get the software. They get access to a digital store library containing over 1,200 digital assets. And the real game changer here is that these come with full resale rights. These are the exact assets that students on the platform are spending their earned credits on. It creates this incredible closed-loop economy where the supply and demand all happen internally between the white label business owner and the learn-to-earn student.
All right, on to our final section, Section 4, Platform Scale and Ecosystem.
So the crucial point with any of this is adoption, right? And according to their data, the platform is absolutely seeing it. Nitai Group currently reports having over 12,450 active students. And remember, because of the learn-to-earn model, these aren't just passive, forgotten accounts gathering dust. It requires active participation in the 90-block curriculum to generate any progress, meaning they have a highly engaged user base actively grinding through the hustler, agency, and enterprise phases right now.
And you can literally see the result of that active engagement in their internal economy. To date, there have been over 89,250 credits earned across the platform. That is a massive metric. It proves that the gamification mechanics are functioning exactly as intended. Students are out there completing modules, passing quizzes, and successfully pulling down credits that they can then go spend within that 1,200 asset digital store we just looked at.
But honestly, out of all the data in the source material, this next metric is the real jaw-dropper, a 93% completion rate. Just to put that into perspective, in the wider world of online education, traditional course completion rates usually hover somewhere in the single digits. So 93% is remarkably high. It strongly suggests that their strategy, tying immediate, tangible economic rewards directly to educational milestones, is playing a huge role in retaining learners through the entire 90-day curriculum.
Which leaves us with this final, really provocative thought to chew on. Based on the ecosystem Nitai Group has built, combining this zero-capital franchising concept on one side with a gamified, income-generating student roadmap on the other, we have to ask, will decentralized, gamified platforms become the new standard for professional education? Because as AI continues to evolve at lightning speed, the way we learn it is clearly evolving just as fast. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. I really hope this explainer helped you get a clear look at the mechanics behind this fascinating platform. Keep asking those great questions, and I'll see you next time.